Just pulled this external oil line, and I need to figure out what exactly is going on here, how to remove this. Doesn't feel like I can get to it from the outside. The engine should be free from the oil pan. I just don't know if I can lift it up or if the camshaft's going to bind in this front cover, or what's going to happen. Or if the crankshaft's going to bind in the front cover. I don't know what's holding it on right here. Just barely enough room for a wrench around that. Let's take a look at what's in the oil pan. Lots of crusty stuff in the transmission. Lots of goop in the engine section. So I've been meaning to take this engine apart for a while, give it a health assessment, see if it is salvageable. And I've been going to a local Model T collector's barn to buy parts. And I'm afraid that he's getting a bit of the scrapper's disease, or he'd rather scrap stuff than save it, which doesn't make sense because he himself collects Model Ts, so why not just have a barn full of parts? And they've got a few engine blocks sitting there, so maybe I should pick one up as a spare. But I do want to verify the condition of this one that I originally got. These washers on this one, that is goofy. That journal looks okay. The journal looks pretty decent too. Am I only going to be able to get one? It appears that way. I would think that should be loose and lift off of there. If I remove that one, I might be able to take that cap off. Oh, yeah. I can do that by hand. Just a little pin, that's it. Thought I felt one of these valves move. Those are hidden valves right there. That one moved. Not like a Model A. Interesting. Didn't know that. It's pretty simple. These two are just like, they're just locked in. Oh yeah, that was enough. Nice. not using as much finesse as I would like. Theoretically, I should be able to take that off now. Two of four. I have to disengage the camshaft, lift it up out of the way. I have no idea what comes next. Looks like the crankshaft has some dowel pins, and just the face of the crankshaft is probably going to be stuck. Ow. Okay. Mixture of blood and grease. That is throbbing pretty good. There we go. Finally. That wasn't too bad. I mean, that thing is just completely destroyed right in that corner. That's weird. It's a two-piece valve or something. I don't see the stem moving when I do that. Yep, that would explain it. Hey, there's the rest of the valve. Taking these out might really help in removing the camshaft. Two of the lifters are still kind of stuck, but as long as I can just slide the camshaft out, I should be able to then rotate it around to those stuck ones. This one's stuck on low, and so is this one. So I should be able to get it out. It has moved 3/16. I think it's getting held up on those lifters. So the camshaft itself would be able to slip past, but since the bearings are coming with it, they're not slipping past these two stuck lifters. I need to find a way to convince them to move out of the way. So the lifters are not stuck now. They're just hitting up against valves that are stuck. I could just cut those valves. That would free those lifters. Now it's going to be a matter of pressing the bearings out with the camshaft. Looks like it's going, so I'm going to keep going. You know, something I haven't thought to do yet is see roughly what the bore is. Stock diameter should be 3,750. Let's see what it is. Roughly 3,760. So that's, I doubt it's 10 over. That's just a worn out standard bore. Sweet. Well, bittersweet. I don't know. If the block can be saved, that's cool. That leaves me with a dilemma though. Assuming these are good, I just found these in a barn, aluminum Model T pistons. They're 40 over. So the block is already worn 10 over. That might just mean I'm going 40 over right off the bat. Run what you brung, I guess. Someone will tell me, no, you should go with the bare minimum first. Buy more pistons for more money. I don't know. I would agree with that, but I already have these, and I paid a few pennies for them. T3021DS, 40 over. Those might be my pistons. Trust but verify. 3785. That's 35 over. I was afraid that these would break off, but I just put a vice grip on them and they started to move, so I'm going to take them off so that they don't break off. That was a close one. And there's like some bunch of dirt down in there. The only thing left in this block, besides the poured Babbitt, is 3 broken valve stems. So speaking of the Babbitt, this is the center main. Pretty rough. Front looks okay. There's a crack maybe. Rear looks okay. So cylinder 4 has some stuff that you can wipe away with your finger. Cylinder 3 has some pretty heavy pitting. This is that really hard, crunchy stuff, not really the flaky stuff. That ring around where the piston was sitting does look kind of deep. Hopefully that will clean up at 40 thou. Cylinder 2, also some pitting. Cylinder 1 has some near the top. I'm guessing that's a coolant passage, completely jammed up. Same with that one. Also notice the valves are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can't count that high. Probably like 50 or something. Might be a crack there. Might be a crack there. They're probably gonna have to deck this anyway, so I'm not too concerned about just running a file over it and reading the tea leaves, seeing if I can bring anything up. Still looks like it might be a crack on this side of the shiny part. If they need to sleeve it, at least it's at the standard bore, so there should be some meat to dig into. Wow, that's not it. Not the stuff. There were actually 3 valve heads that broke off as I hammered them out of the block. They're the same ones that were stuck that I had to cut the ends off of to get the lifters to move out of the way for the camshaft. So those 3 stems were stuck in the block, and then right before I took it to the machine shop, I was able to hammer them out with a long punch. This is the hand-fisted way of doing it. Okay, so that had been beat up already. So to get that part of the timer off, there was this cap that went over it that I didn't see, and this pin that held it on. It was pot metal. I didn't have the rest of it. It seemed like it was all together, and then it broke during the engine disassembly because I didn't know that I had to do that. It's interesting that's a metal gear. I would have expected fiber like a Model A. I'll clean that up. At the end of the barn picking trip recently, the guy just gave me these 2 rear ends for free. I got a couple sets of float afford accessory spring. These are for the fronts. These are kind of a triple spring as opposed to like the Hassler single spring. Got some band lining. I got a 4 dipper oil pan that looks to be in decent shape. Looks like they added this dam here with a pound of brazing, I guess to hold more oil in the engine section. I got a bin of handles and stuff. These are a little too fancy for the TT cab. Some gas tank mounts for the round tank, which is all I have for now. I need to find a decent oval tank. Brake shoe, whatever. A Rocky Mountain brake pedal, which is cool. I wish they had the rest of the kit in that barn, but this is all they had. But just this pedal, which is no longer available, is like 150 bucks when you can find it. So eventually when I get some Rocky Mountain brakes, I will have the pedal that doesn't come with the kit. So comparing it to my original Hogshead, you can see the extra tabs on the pedal versus the original. And now that I'm looking at my original, it seems like that shaft might be bent. Something weird going on right here. Maybe I should pick up a few of these next time barn picking. Doesn't really seem like anything's broken on the inside, unless it's just too dirty to tell. But why does it look like there's JB Weld on the outside? Or is that just some smeared out sealant? Doesn't look cracked though. Random weird water pump I pulled out of their scrap pile. Looks like it's an Atlas. Other odds and ends. Some main caps. Bunch of carburetor parts and some grease caps. I'm trying to build a factory toolkit. I'm getting there slowly. Windshield wiper, a couple exhaust cutouts or horn pedals. This chromed brass dog bone, although I don't know if it's from Model T because the threads are the opposite of what you need. That was in their scrap pile. Yeah, it's bent, but I'm going to bend it back. I'd rather have a cool old piece than a new reproduction. Don't know what this is, but it was cool. It was in their scrap pile. Samson Tiger, American Electric Co. I don't know. It was cool. Didn't need to be smashed. A couple of the beehive springs for the Hasslers. I have a set already. And there was nothing else for this set, but I'll save those springs in the scrap pile. I don't know if these are Model T, maybe some sort of spare tire holder or something. And I pulled this muffler out of the scrap pile. Yeah, it's blown out, but they make replacement shells for it. And I don't know, mufflers aren't very hot rod, but it's cool, man. It doesn't need to be completely trashed.